Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Constant and we're back at it reviewing another professional matchup of Starcraft 2. Today we have two titans going against each other. We have Harstem versus Ragnorok. Both of these players have a very similar playstyle. They both like to play more macro orientated and they don't really like to rush much. They both like to play the standard game and beat their opponents in a drawn out match. Harstem himself, the man with the portrait. I've always watched Harstem streams and I've always loved him because he's a great guy, he's really funny, and he's really interesting to watch sometimes. Ragnorok, probably gonna go for hatch first. Yep, hatch first into pool, I would assume. It's a very standard play. I was actually thinking of, if anyone watches Marine Arena, I was thinking of making a tips video. Maybe that will help some people because I've played a lot of Marine Arena and I'm not too good at it, but I feel like I know more than the average Joe. So I'm thinking I might just make a how-to video or more like a tips video just to help out the beginners on how to play Marine Arena or how to get better at it. Anyways, let's get back into the game. We have Ragnarok going for a spawning pool. Looks like a pretty standard play. He's probably going to drop a third hatch soon, which is very standard, but Harstem going for the Nexus first into Gateway into the Cyber Core. Only has one gas right now, but I assume he's going to take the second gas pretty soon because, yep, there we go. Protoss relies heavily on gas, and if you don't got gas, you're going to lose. Ragnarok, pretty standard. This is a very acute play, and I've actually tried doing it. What you try to do is with the probe, you try to mess up the minerals. So the drone that's always trying to mine the minerals over here, they can't because the probe keeps on like trying to take minerals. But you have to keep on micromanaging it, otherwise the probe will actually take minerals and the whole thing fails. But it's actually really hard to do. But Harstem just scouting a little bit. Two Zerglings coming in for Ragnarok to shove that probe away. Overlord on top. Twilight Council coming down. Probably going to be a standard Archon drop. You know, that's pretty standard. Stalker going up. Probably going to try to deny the vision for Ragnarok. But I think he's going to get a scouted. And he'll probably see the Twilight Council. Harstem will probably go for a Templar Archives, which is the standard into Archon drop. But some players like to mix it up into a robotics facility for that Warp Prism. The Warp Prisms did get a minor buff last time. Oh, not a minor buff, but so now the Warpin is a lot longer. And the price is 50 minerals. The price isn't much of a change, but the Warpin will be a lot longer. You need to get the upgrade otherwise. There we go. The Darkshine coming in. And I believe Ragnarok did get the vision for that. So he knows what's coming. He'll build some spores. It's probably just going to be an Archon drop. So it's nothing big for Ragnarok. It's been in the meta for a while. It amazes me how much people can learn every year. Like Starcraft continues to grow. And people keep learning new things. Like if you would have taken this build like a couple years ago, people would be like, what? Are you dumb? Who uses Archons like that? Who uses a Warp Prism like that? But like the new era has brought out a lot of stuff. Roach Warren on the way for Ragnarok. Ragnarok, he's been a very good player as of recently. He actually really rose to the top in the most recent tournaments and he's gotten a lot better. Darkshine almost done for Harstem. 4 gateways, I believe. Yep, 4 gateways just to get 4 of those DTs down at once to morph them into an Archon. Harstem's probably going to go for 3rd base soon. Yep, there we go. Adepts coming in to scout around for any lings. Sometimes with lings we can do is, well, since I'm a lower level player, I usually send my probe out by himself. And like, Zerg players can easily snipe the probe with the Zerglings. So usually that delays the Nexus by a good 15-20 seconds because the probe is just so slow. But Ragnarok on top of things immediately scouts when the third base goes down for Harstem. 7 roaches on the way for Ragnorok. He knows what's coming. He knows Archon drop is coming. He's got it covered. Oh, it's already there. My bad. But he's actually doing a good amount. Wow, that is a lot of drones going down for Ragnarok. That is 11 drones and 2 Lings and an Overlord. Amazing efficiency by Harstem. But at the same time, some Lings are attacking the third base. Sneaky DT with 4 kills, holding his own. Newborn Zealot warped in. He's got no idea what's going on. But Ragnarok has perfect vision of Harstem's third base. Charge on the way now for Harstem, along with the third Nexus and a Forge. He's probably going to prioritize ground attack. Yeah. Armor is more effective against Terran because it really helps out with those Marines and those Marauders. But attack is what really helps with Zerg, especially with Archons against the biological units. They actually do a lot of damage. Harstem continued to be pesking around with that War Prism, trying to do as much damage as he can. But the Queen shoving it away. War Prism running low on shields and health. Glial Reconstitution coming in for Ragnarok. And I feel like... Spider, there we go. Spider on the way. I was going to say, he actually really needs to move on to higher tech. Otherwise, if Harstem stays on this Immortal Archon Zealot tech, excuse me, roaches will be destroyed pretty easily because they do not scale well over time. Roaches are really good in the beginning, but they are very supply heavy and they don't do as well. Charge also got a pretty big change. They got nerfed pretty hard, so the initial damage for the Zealots has now been cancelled. So upon impact, they don't deal 8 damage of charge. They do 0, but they will still do their basic attack, which is 2 swings. So that's like 8 damage gone away. That actually makes a big difference. So we'll see how that plays out in the new meta, but Temple Archives is now on the way for Harstem. You really need that Storm, otherwise you are going to get destroyed by a Zerg player. Especially if they have Banelings and Zerglings, like an easy surround will destroy you. +1 now just started for Ragnarok, while +1 is almost done for Harstem, so Harstem is ahead in that battle. But there are 10 mutas on the way, so let's see how much damage those mutas can get, because Harstem has no idea they're coming in. He has no Stargates, and he's completely out in the blue. So maybe if Ragnarok can get him by surprise, he can do some good economic damage, but Ragnarok scouts that the 4th base is coming in for Harstem. Supply count is still pretty even. Ragnarok has a couple more workers. Oh, not anymore. But let's see the units lost, and look at that efficiency. 1 probe, 1 observer, and 1 adept lost for 18 drones, 18 lings, and an overlord. Creep tumor doesn't really count, but Hallucinated Phoenix coming in. Oh, perfect scout off. He scouts off the Spire, but is it too late? The mutas have arrived. Let's see how much damage Ragnarok can actually get in. He tries to go for the sentries, but he gets 1 sentry, but there we go. Just more. Ooh, very close. He almost lost that. But cannon in the main base, cannon in the natural. Harstem got this. Harstem has got this covered. He's got Blink on the way as well. This isn't doing much damage to Harstem. Harstem is too good for this. But he did take a lot of damage on that War Prism. The shields will recharge, but the health on that, the base health will not. But here comes Ragnarok's army. He's got a bunch of Lings. He's probably going to make a couple Banelings, I think. Or is he just going to charge them like that? Ooh, wow. Uncharacteristically bad play by Ragnarok. Sending those mutas into those Archons. But here comes Ragnarok. He's coming in. Nice storm on the Zerglings and those Banelings. But Harstem is just backing up. He's trying to get in a nice engagement so that the Zerg funnels onto his army. Corrosive Bile is going down, easily dodging him as Harstem, but nice play by Harstem picking up that weakened Archon with only 20 shields left. Archons don't have much base health, so Shields is all they really have. Stargate on the way for Harstem. I don't know what he's gonna do with that. Maybe an Oracle. Maybe he thinks there's more of a Mew to follow up, but there isn't. But you can never be too sure. 16 Banelings on the way for Ragnorok. That's a good amount of Banelings, but +2 on almost done for Harstem, but +2 is just started for Ragnorok. That's a big difference. But I think Harstem should throw down a second forge and maybe start the armor upgrades, because that will really help him since he has the economy to keep running both upgrades at once. But Harstem is a pro player, what would I know? But here comes Ragnorok again with another follow-up attack. Let's see how much damage he can do. Harstem going out with a Warp Prism to see if maybe he can catch the army off guard. Okay, there we go. Baneling storming in. Ooh! Oh my goodness. Baneling's crashing on so many of those Archons. Harstem lost a bunch of those Archons. But that was a really good trade from him because those were a lot of Banelings and he probably lost like 3 Archons. You want those Archons to hit the Banelings, otherwise if they hit something like those Zealots, the Zealots just dissipate. Nice storm on those Roaches and Ravagers, but Harstem is slowly pushing Ragnorok back. So Blackon is still pretty even. Still 4 base to 4 base though, or 5th base almost done for Ragnorok. But as a Protoss, you want to be on equal footing with the Zerg. If the Zerg is ahead 1 base, that's not bad, but Zerg always needs to be ahead on 1 base, otherwise they're considered behind. Couple of Zealots coming in with the Warp Prism, but it looks like the Warp Prism was recalled. Yep, it looks like it was recalled away, but he didn't get much damage done there anyways. More mutas on the way for Ragnorok. I don't know why he's making more mutas. I don't know if that is the correct thing to do. Let's see. Oh, he only has 3 mutas. I guess he just built that to take away the Warp Prism because it was really annoying him, I guess. But +3 on the way for Harstem, and +3 hasn't even finished Ragnarok. Upgrades are so good. A lot of lower level people do not get upgrades, and that really harms them because it does like +1, +2, +3 per slice. Like a Zealot, since Zealot has 2 attacks, like +2 will like increase this thing by like 4 damage each swipe. That's a big deal once you get a big engagement, so I can't stress how important upgrades are. But Harstem has his 5th base on the way as well. 22 Lings on the way for Ragnorok. Ragnorok, he's going for the Hive. I'm pretty sure he's trying to go for that Greater Spire because that's the end goal for all. Yep, end goal for all Zerg. Zerg late game, I'm sorry to say, but it's actually pretty overpowered right now, especially with the way the Infestor Terran are scaling with upgrades. They're probably going to get a nerf soon. Infestors in general are going to get a nerf. Something's going to get a nerf because most Zerg late games are winning. There's very few Protoss or Terrans winning that game. Terran's got a buff. Terran Ghost got a buff with the EMP, so it covers a larger range. But Harstem is coming in to see if maybe he can snipe off that 5th base. But Ragnarok quickly comes back into position to see if he can do anything to stop him. 1 hero High Templar being warped on the front lines. What do you call a Zealot that smokes weed? High Templar. Oh man. Sorry guys. I had to do it to you guys. Ooh, beautiful storm on those Banelings. That's a lot of Banelings that went down the Templar drain for Ragnarok, but he's losing a lot of his units. Beautiful storms on those Ravagers, but he has 34 Paniglings on the way. He has so many Corruptors, but his Broodlord tech is not even finished. 20 Banelings trying to be morphed. That's it. He has nothing left. Harstem is just smashing Ragnarok. He hit him at such good timing that his Broodlords were not even out. Amazing play by Harstem. And GG is called. Wow. That was an amazing play by Harstem. He knew when to attack. He knew the Greater Spire tech was not done yet. Ragnarok had 8 Corruptors. I think he had more than 8. Probably had like 10 or 12 Corruptors. But none of them were Broodlords. And they were just supply heavy. They're taking up like 3 supply each, like 30 supply. And they were doing nothing. He tried to make a bunch of Paniglings, but it didn't do anything for him. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next one.